Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we'll be learning how to draft this beautiful bustier gown. If this is what you'll be interested in learning, please sit back and let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to be doing as usual is to draft out my basic measurement. That's my border line over there. The straight line is my border line. After that, I'm taking my shoulder measurement divided by 2 plus ½ inch sewing allowance. I will mark it right there. The next thing that I'm going to be doing right now is to mark my neck width. As we all know that the standard neck width measurement is 3 by 3, but right here I will be using 3.5 because the person is somehow chubby. So I'll be using 3.5 for the width and 3.5 for the length. So I'm using my curved rule to form the round neck. After that, I'm going to be marking my shoulder slope of 1 inch. Then I'm going to rule it over there. Then the next thing I'll be doing is to get my armhole length. How do I get my armhole length? My bust measurement divided by 6 plus 1.5 inch allowance. So after getting the point, I'm going to rule a straight line there, and I would name that line my chest line. Immediately after that, the next thing that I'm going to be doing is to get my shoulder measurement. I'm trying to confirm that shoulder measurement so that that line will be a straight line. We want to work on our armhole now. So that line that I'm marking right now, I'm going to measure it and then divide it by 2 and put a point over there. Put a point at the midpoint. Then from that midpoint, come in by ½ inch. Then from that shoulder slope, that ½ inch and your bust measurement divided by 4 on the chest line without any allowance. You are going to connect those 3 lines together to get your armhole curve. Those 3 lines that I'm touching right now, you connect them together with your curve rule to get your armhole curve. So after getting our armhole curve, I'm going to be marking all my vertical lines. You know, I already have my chest line there. I'm going to be marking my bust point. I'll mark my under bust, and I'll also mark my waistline. I'm going to get my ruler and rule a straight line across them and also label them. So immediately after that, I'm going to be marking my nipple to nipple measurement. The half of my nipple to nipple measurement, I'm going to be marking it on my bust point, on my under bust, and on my waistline, which is also known as my half length. Then I'm going to get a ruler and rule a straight line across it. So now it's time to take our dart towards that side, that center front side. As you can see in the video, I went in by ½ inch, and on the other side I went out by 2 inches. You can decide to go out by 1.5 inch or 2 inches depending on how busty the person is. You are going to take that measurement on the waistline and on the under bust. You are not going to take it on the bust point, as you can see me doing in the video. So immediately after that, on my bust point line, I came down by ½ inch before connecting them so that it will not be too painful. That was what I did. I came down by ½ inch, then I took my curved rule to connect those lines together. So the next thing I'm going to be doing after connecting them together to form down my curve is to divide my shoulder measurement by 2. That what I have left around that shoulder, I'm going to divide it by 2. I'm going to get the midpoint, and then I'm going to connect that midpoint to my bust point. I'm going to connect it to my bust point like so. Then on my bust point, I'm going to come up by ½ inch on both sides too, so that it will not be too painful. Then under my chest line, because although I'm still going to change it, but if you want your neckline to start from your chest line, you can take it that way. under my chest line, I came out. That's for the upper bust tightening. I also came out by half inch allowance, but I'm still going to work on this later on when I get my neckline. So I'm just going to use that first to form that curve. So immediately after that, I'm going to get my neckline. The neckline that I want to do is a sweetheart neckline. So if you like, you can come down from your bust points or your chest line a little bit, or you can just maintain it just as you see me doing in the video. I'm marking my chest line, so I went up a little bit, my neckline rather. I went up a little bit from my chest line, then I connected it to the armhole. So after that, I started putting all my measurements. My bust measurement, I mark it there. My waist measurement is what I just mark, and I return back the allowance. And also on the under bust, I marked my measurement and put all those dart allowances, all those dart intake, I put them back. So right now I'm cutting it out. As you can see in the video, I've labeled my yoke. So I'm going to go back to that neckline, that sweetheart neckline, that upper bust tightening. So I'm going to go back there to tighten it at the hub there and take that half inch that allowance, that upper bust tightening. You know, I took it from the chest line before, so I want to extend it. Can you see? As I'm doing in the video, I extended it to the neckline, then I corrected it again over there before cutting it up. So basically we are done with the front part of this pattern. The next thing we'll be doing right now is to draft out the back part. We are going to be drafting the back of the pattern after cutting it out. So this is my back pattern paper. I've gone ahead to draw my border line. I've drawn my zip allowance 1.5 inches downward with a straight line. So the next thing I'm doing is just to mark my neck width. My neck width, which is the same neck width to the front, but the neck depth is 1.5 inch. I connected it. I did my shoulder slope at 1 inch. After that, I'm going to rule my armhole length, which is my bust measurement divided by 6 plus 1.5 inch. So that's what I'm doing there. For the back armhole, we are not going to come in by any half inch. It's just going to be straight. It's just going to be straight. So that's just what I'm doing there. I'm just doing a basic block for the back bodice. So I just mark it straight and I just curved my armhole, as you can see in the video. So that line there is just the chest line. We are going to need that line for our darts, for our back dart. That's why I just mark it there. So the next thing I want to do is to mark my darts. How do I mark my back dart? My nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. That's what I marked there. So I'm going to use a ruler to connect it after measuring it, after marking it over there. My nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. For example, if my nipple to nipple is 8 divided by 2 is 4. That is what I'm actually marking on that dart. For the dart, I'm going to start marking it excluding the zip allowance area. I'm not going to include that for to the zip allowance area. Then I'll come down from my chest line by 1 inch. From that chest line, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. That's where my dart is going to stop. Then on that dart, nipple to nipple measurement line, on that dart line, I'm going to go out by half inch. Then I just connect it straight down there to form our dart. It's as easy as that. Just keep watching the video. So immediately after that, I'm going to go ahead and mark my body measurement. My bust measurement divided by 4. I marked it there. I'll go ahead and mark my waist measurement divided by 4. I'm going to measure the dart. That is 1 inch. I'm going to replace it over there. I'm not going to be putting the allowance yet because this paper is small. I'm going to be putting the allowance on my fabric when I'm drafting it on my fabric. So that is it all about the back pattern. I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. Oh guys, here is the down part of that skirt. Here is the highlight of the down part. The down part is a flare, so I just folded my fabric into triangle, and that place that I'm putting my tape rule is where I will be putting my waistline, my waist measurement divided by 4. I'm going to cut 2 of these out, front and back. After cutting my waist measurement divided by 4, that's that hack, that radius that I'm actually doing there. From that hack, I'm going to mark straight down to get the length of my skirt. Remember that we have already minus our half inch. For example, if the gown length is 40 and the half length is 17, you're going to take away 17 from 40. The remaining 23, that's what you're going to use for this skirt part. So I've gone ahead to cut it. The next thing I want to do right now is to cut that slit. You know there is a slit. If you check the thumbnail, there is a slit in front of the gown. So that is what I'm actually drafting out now. Guys, this video is going to be having a part 2. The part 2 of this video will be a very, very detailed sewing process. So please try to subscribe so that when I post the part 2 of the video, you will be the first to be notified. Please subscribe to my channel and let's wait for the part 2 of this video. So this is just what I was trying to talk about, and there will be another fabric under. I'll be putting a doll face fabric under. You can use a mikado, you can use a doll face, or whatever fabric you like. You can put it under to get that effect. So until then, I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.